Welcome back to the Behind the VR Headset podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Paul from the VR Realm. How you doing, Paul?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. Good. I thought I'd have you on because you really helped me build the studio. And I think
you did a lot yourself.
Yeah, I don't think so. You were watching me. Do you remember the first day when I was trying to put the back wall on and stuff like that, and you were just must have been thinking, "Oh my god, this guy's just beyond help." But yeah, thanks. You really did help me out, and I've just every time I go into Neos with you, I learn like new stuff every time. So
I try.
Yeah. So you know quite a lot basically when it comes to Neos. You're very clued up. So
yeah,
that must have taken ages for you to learn it all. Tell us about your channel first, actually. What your channel is and what it's all about and what you do.
So mainly on my channel I do reviews is the main thing. Like normally the most constant thing that comes on there, and like first looks. It's across all headsets. It's across Quest, PSVR, PCVR. I also every now and then live stream or release gameplay videos depending on if embargo lifts for gameplay first. I'll do like a first opening 20 minutes of a game normally, so because obviously in my head I don't want to ruin it for people who are going to buy it. Like the first 20 minutes not much normally happens. I also do a podcast.
Yes, tell us about that. Your studio is brilliant because the first day I went into Neos was the first thing I saw was your studio.
So it's a similar format to what this is. I do it inside Neos like yourself. I just invite people in for a random chat. I don't bring them in with any idea of what we're going to chat about unless it's someone like when I had Atom Bomb Body from Live. Obviously we wanted to discuss Live a bit,
of course, yeah,
this is why. But if it's just like a general guest, which a lot of them have been at the moment, it's just like this, just a chat. It's not any, I don't go and say, right, we're talking about this.
Oh, okay, so it's not like an interrogation like I do.
I know.
With a list of questions. Yes, I mean, yeah, I love your studio. Like I've watched your podcast and stuff. And how long have you been doing podcasts for? Was it like 7-8 months? Is that right?
8 months now.
Yeah.
The one in Neos, but before that, ran a podcast with 4 other people. I wasn't in Neos. It was just general camera, like a bit like what Mac does. There was 4 of us, and we ran it for about, I think, over 2 years. I was getting close to 2 years when we decided to stop it because we just started to like run out of stuff.
So what was that based on? VR as well?
VR as well, yeah. There was Dr. Oculus VR was in there.
Oh yeah.
Book and Ball. Like Ball's just some techno wizard with all this stuff. He's like he builds his own apps and stuff that for like streaming. So it can he's just a wizard with coding.
Oh, nice.
So it was interesting having him in because he obviously brought that side of view to it and stuff. But yeah, that was just basically we talked about what we played the week, and if we did find VR news to talk about. We try to keep it like very formal but not formal. We had a formal structure, but we tried to keep it as like a laid back chat rather than like. And then yeah, I think we just sort of near the end we all just started to want to go and do different things. And
yeah, that I get it. And then you just thought you'd do your own thing, build it in Neos. Tell me about your first experience in Neos. What was your first ever experience? Who was it with? Where did you go? What did you think?
So my first experience in Neos was actually when I bought the Vive facial tracker because Neos was the only thing that actually supported it. So I just came in on my own, not knowing what to expect. Just thought, I know they had 2 models that were free to use that had been set up already in a facial tracker world. Yeah. So I came in, searched the facial tracker world, and then it basically came up. Mike from VR Oasis and Nafi were in the room in there, so I was like, I'll go and just jump in with them.
Oh, nice.
And just hung about with them a bit. Yeah. We just did a bit of world hopping afterwards, because it was their, from my understanding, it was their first time coming in to check, because I got the facial tracker and it was the only thing that supported it. Yeah. So we ended up just world hopping a little bit, like going to chess world where you can play your game of chess and stuff. And then more people just kept jumping in. Like people, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know whether they get some sort of message or whatever, because I always find the mentors in here, or what, I can't remember what they're called. when they normally find new users in no time and like come at the world. Oh, you're new. Do you want to learn anything? Do you want to talk for anything?
Yeah.
So we had a few of those jumping in, and we were just like, we're just world hopping.
With your first experience, that's pretty cool that you met those guys. Actually, how long were you in there for?
Just for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it was spent in the facial tracker world.
Yeah.
For some reason, Nafi said his dream had come true because he could now lick a sofa in VR. I was like, all right, okay. And he was trying to lick the chairs in the facial tracker world. I was like, okay, that's
strange you say
Yeah.
that, because that's exactly what I want to do. That's why I put that sofa over there, because I want to give it a good licking. You never tried to lick a sofa before? Come on.
No.
So, So after your first experience, did you straight away think, "Wow, I want to start building stuff. I want to start making worlds," or was it just something that came like gradually?
It's just something that came gradually. Like, I jumped in. I used to already play my avatar first, jumped in, started learning stuff about it. And then when I was in one day, I was like, you know what? Doing a podcasting would probably be good, because I got in the mood to... I felt like I wanted to do the podcast, like a podcast in some way. So I thought I could do it in here. And then that's what made me think, now I need to learn how to build.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to make a studio and things like this. And then over months and months, it just gradually gets better, because you start to learn more. I mean, I took it to my first studio, just a little corner one.
I remember that, yeah. And we raced a dog and a dragon. I believe I was the dog and you were the dragon. And we had a race, and then we fell off the edge of the world and just laughed our asses off. That was really fun, because that was my first day in Neos as well.
Yeah.
Because Neos is, I keep saying it, but everyone needs to try it out. From doing my podcast and Mac in VR talking about it and things like that, slowly more people are coming up to us and saying, "Oh, can you show us around what Neos is about?" and things like that. It's just amazing. I came in with my friend. I showed him, I think, last week. We were world hopping. We just clicked on whatever world, and then we ended up at some, like, a casino, and everyone was standing around and we were playing, and it was just crazy. It's like it's so hard to explain, like, with an avatar in front of you, especially if your avatar, because you've got eye tracking and the face tracking as well, right?
Yeah.
So wherever you're looking, literally, that's where the eye tracking goes.
Yeah.
Wow. And then the face tracking, like, can you pull a funny face for the camera?
I can, like, do a smile.
Yeah, what else can you do?
Can a frown. I can kiss. I can puff my cheeks out.
What? And your ears as well?
Stick my tongue out. There's a lot more you can do, but this is all I've set up at the moment. Like, you can make it do a lot more.
What else can you do?
It's like, I could do it so... Like, if I stuck my tongue out, I could make it more like a zany face. I could have one eye closed, one eye open and big. One of you down or one of you to the side. It's just... I could, like, inside of Neos, using the stuff inside here, I could map it to, say, when my tongue sticks out. Make this eye go bigger, this eye shut, this ear go down to the side. And just on that one action.
Wow, and do that thing with your ears you showed me earlier.
Smile so they pop up. And frown they go down.
See, that's just amazing. And your tail... Sorry, go on.
And if I pucker, like I'm going to kiss someone, like they go straight behind.
Does that take you long to set that up?
And no, I was quite surprised, because obviously when I started with this avatar, and I was like, I need to look at the facial track and set it up. Because when you download a Ready Play Me avatar, it's automatically set up for face tracking. So if you've got a face tracker, it will automatically be set up to smile and a few actions. And I was like, I wonder what I add more to it, like. And then I brought up the avatar, scrolled down, and it was like, it showed you like, it's like tongue out, and then I could link it to the part of the avatar that moves the tongue, and just say, when I do this action, I want this to come out a bit, and So I could reduce it so it doesn't stick out as far, or
Yeah.
I could make it stick out even further. It's like a weird, and it's just basically like it was weird because it already had some set up, and then I could just go like add new, and then choose tongue out and say I want my eyes to close when I stick my tongue out, and it'd link it down and it'd just do it straight away. Like just grab the action and put it into the action inside.
Yeah, because it's
like
yeah. Sorry, go on.
just crazy how straightforward and simple it was.
Yeah, and it's just freaky to see because it just there's avatars and then sometimes the eyes move around and things like that. But when I look at your face, it's like you're a real person, even though you're not a real person. Tell me about your avatar. Actually, where did this come from? Your whole setup.
So what was weird is like when I came into here, I had a Ready Player Me avatar. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know I was going to get this addicted to it, and I've seen a few of this model around, and then I once think it was Fructious has it, and I was like the guy who makes everything in here, like who's like one of the co-CEOs of Neos as the company.
Okay.
I was speaking to him, and I said, "Oh, is there any can you let me know where I can get the avatar from?" And he pointed me to the website. It's a purchase model, but it comes with like set skins, like set colours, but because I'd learned through my Ready Play Me avatar how easy it was to edit textures by taking it out and doing it in Photoshop. I was like, right, I'm going to make my own textures, so make it custom. And then, as I said to you earlier, my old avatar had all the feathers on. I decided to make it more custom. Like put the outfit on to make it more custom, and I was like, I want to still work with it, and then ended up just putting the hair on rather than the feathers. Because the normal one has like loads of little separate feathers, like sort of look like skinnier version of what's in the ear. Then I wanted like proper hair on it, so put this on, textured it to match with the colours. Also got these glasses which you can take on and off.
That's so cool, mate. Have you actually seen anybody with the same avatars? You're not obviously the whole thing, but like just the base avatar.
Yeah, like I said, Fructious uses it. He was like one of the co-founders.
Apart from that, and then
yeah, like I spotted this avatar because I'd seen a lot of people using it in here. Like,
okay.
I kept bumping into people with it on, and I thought I actually liked the whole like aesthetic design of that avatar. And then, like, so I got talking to Fructious. I was like, "Where do I get this avatar?" Like, I thought it might be an Avatar World or somewhere. And he was like, "Oh, no, it's like it's one you have to buy the license for the person who made it." I was like, "Right," and he told me where to go. I mean, it was only I think about £40 for the model, which for like I said, you can just customize how you want. If you know, like I've started to get a bit of an understanding of Blender from Neos because of Neos, which I downloaded it because of Neos because I wanted to try and do stuff, and that's how I went through and deleted all the feathers off and added the hair on, did it all through Blender and importing the model back in there. Just it opened so many things to me. Like it's crazy how much this game, this application, I'd say, just changed how I wanted to do stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I went on Blender. You sent me some tutorials, and I tried for an hour or so, and I just said no. So I've got to start again because I just couldn't. Certain things I just couldn't figure out. It's just one of those things you just got to learn. So I'd have to go back into it and retry some things. Cause I was trying to do 3D like lettering, like words.
Yeah.
And make like my logo 3D and stuff like that. So I'll have to go back in and figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us about your headsets. What headsets have you had from day one, your first ever VR experience, to where you are now?
My first ever VR experience, it was weird because before I was into VR, I was very much into console gaming, and that was it. Didn't PC game. My PC was for editing or playing in Photoshop or whatever. I had no interest in gaming, in PC gaming, and then, so because I was console, I watched E3 when they announced the PlayStation VR, and I was just like, my actual post on my website at the time, because I I moved my website from flat stream to VR as well.
Yeah.
It just sort of went. My actual post for about the E3 was like, I'm not buying PlayStation VR. It's a gimmick, and Sony. What we all know what Sony like with gimmicks. If it doesn't work, they just go, that's all right then.
Yeah.
We've seen it with the Move, with PlayStation Move. Didn't take off, and then they just ended anything to do with it. Oh, that doesn't matter. Didn't work. So that was my worry. But then, as someone who enjoys tech, it's like the day the PlayStation VR come out, I was like, God, I wish I pre-ordered one. Just to try it. I tried Connect. I tried everything. I just like, new tech comes out, like, I need to try this tech. And obviously, I didn't have PC. Like I said, my PC wasn't good enough to run VR, so it was only just good enough to run flat games. So I was like, right, I couldn't get invested in it that way. So I thought, PlayStation VR, I've got PlayStation. And then actually looked around, and Argos in my local town had one in stock on release day. I was
nice.
I was sat in work, I was like, reserve it. Reserved it to pick up in the store. We got it after work. Came home and played Rush of Blood.
Oh,
and
that's
then
a
I was
brilliant
just
first
like,
game.
I just know what this is about now.
Yeah. Did you scream like a girl?
Yeah, there's actually on my channel there's some videos of me playing it for the first time, and
Oh wow.
I actually like jump and scream that much. My finger slipped, because at the time I didn't have Move controllers. My finger slipped off the analog and managed to press the PlayStation button, so the screen just goes blue. As I scream, the screen just goes blue, and I'm just like, God, shouldn't have been.
And was that a live stream? Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, excellent! I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, I'll have to find it and link it.
Oh, mate.
Like I'll timestamp the video for you.
Send it to me.
Link with the time.
Yeah, send it to me, and I'll put it at the end of this video so people can watch you.
So that,
yeah.
And then that's the only game I've got. Well, obviously you had a demo disc, so I went through like Thumper, Ocean Descent,
Yep.
and then Res. I love Res, so when I saw Res Infinite, I was like, this one would be great for me.
Res
and then
is great, yeah.
And the next day when I went to work, I went to local game and just bought PlayStation VR Worlds. After playing Ocean Descent and seeing, obviously it showed you what was on there, I was like, I'll just have to buy that. If something I can buy now, which is going to give me experiences.
Yeah.
And then absolutely loved it. Then never looked back since.
And what did you do after the PlayStation? What was your headset after that?
Was the original Vive. So with that was a weird one, because the local game shop, well, one of the local game shops, it's like one halfway between two towns, and one in my town, like in Middlesbrough, and then there's one in Stockton, but there's one like bang in the middle in like a shopping arcade type thing. So I was like, I'll go there. They basically just opened one of the arenas at the back where you could book for birthday parties and things like that.
Right.
So I just messaged them saying, do you mind if I come and like have a look around, and I'll write about it on my website. Like, 'cause at the time it was like I was still on flat screen, so and it went in. They showed me around, showed me the decent computers. They had the Xbox section, the PlayStation section for like LAN events across from each other. I was like, great. And then they went, oh, and then we've got like 4 Vives set up over there. And I was like, right, okay. Said, how much does it cost to have? Because I thought I'm going to pay. And they told me the prices it was going to be. And then I was like, all right, can I pay you like, I think it was like £20 for like an hour or something. But I was like, can I pay you? Well, I think it's £15 an hour.
Not bad.
That's right. And I said, oh, can I just pay like for, I think £5 for like, I think it was £5 for half an hour, so it kind of been £15 for an hour, might have been more than an hour. But I was like, oh, can I just pay £5 of half an hour? And they were like, oh, just have a go of it. Like, you're coming to write about it, have a go of it. So then got on there. They put me in raw data. And I was like, the level of this compared to even to the PlayStation VR, I was like, God. And then I was like, since you've got these Vives up at the back, are you selling them? I'm like, yeah. I was like, have you got any in stock? Yeah. Right, okay. And I brought up all the thing to see my specs, because I knew what specs my PC was. And I was like, I just need a new graphics card. So I just got the 1060 6 gig model, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like the lowest recommended for a lot of the games. I was like, I'll get that. That's all I needed. Everything else was okay. So like, but they ended up getting loads of money out of me. I went there for a little free look around and ended up getting loads of money out of me. I came home, I was like, I need this in my house.
So you got the Vive, and then you bought what were the first games you played on the Vive? Because this is going back, when was this, do you think? What year?
So it's like 2017.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Did the PlayStation VR came out 2016, didn't it?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so I got the PlayStation VR and obviously the day release, and then I bought PC VR in the May the next year. So yeah, it would have been May 2017. Went in accounting, because I love Justin Roiland. And it was like, wasn't accounting plus, it was just like the free accounting demo, basically like a free very short one. And then Super Hot.
Oh yeah, Super Hot's brilliant.
So I hadn't played Super Hot on PlayStation VR, but I thought, so it was my first experience with it was with well, I actually got in and applied for a code for Super Hot because they were available on a website that I used to get flat screen games. And then before I set it all up, and then got it set up, tried accounting, and then they were like, they'd got back to me with a code, and I was like, yes, I'm going to go to the Super Hot. And then ended up meeting a few people on that night, just hopping about live streams of PC VR gamers, seeing what they'd recommend.
Yeah.
And then end up making a good group of friends just from jumping into live streams and just saying, like, I'm new, what would you recommend, and things like that. One of them recommended me to get rid of the Vive and get a Rift CV one. I was like, no.
Yeah, I mean, Super Hot is one of those games that you can just play at any time. It's such a great game. Where's the sequel? It's been like how many years? 5-6 years? There's
Yeah. And they released like a new PC game, didn't they?
Yeah, Super Hot, there was a PC version, but everyone was screaming for that in VR.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they didn't bring it to VR.
No, because it sold well on every platform as well. It's not like it's not sold, which doesn't...
Yeah, that's really weird. Yeah, I would like to see more games like that. So after the Vive, what did you do after that?
Well, I did actually buy CV1 because I didn't know about Revive, and I wanted to play Lone Echo and Robo Recall.
Okay.
So I just bought a CV1, and I just started collecting headsets. I've just like gone.
What do you have now then? What's in your crazy cupboard of headsets?
So I've still got my OG Vive.
Yeah.
I've got a Vive Pro I, which I'm using now. That's my main headset. Index.
Oh yes.
A Rift S.
Mhm.
A Quest 2. And a Pimax 5K XR. I think they're the only ones I've got now. But I did sell my CV1 and original Quest and stuff off to people and things like that. And a Windows Mixed Reality one. I had a HP. I've actually bought that one for Halo VR because I heard there was a Halo VR game.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to try it. And there's no way to get it working on any... I scrolled the internet because I was like, is it another Revive thing where I'm going to find out I could play it on other headsets? And there was no way to get it to work on any other headsets, so I didn't look at what the game was about. I just wanted to see if you could use it on other heads, on like if you could get the games to work through Steam or anything anyway. Yeah. And then I was walking past CX and they had a HP Ace or whatever it was. It was like one of the very early Windows Mixed Reality ones in. I was like, right, I'm a massive Halo fan. I want to play this Halo VR. So I went in, bought it, came home, and it was basically just shooting holograms. I was like, oh.
How much did you pay for that?
I think about £185.
Okay.
But then I took it back and just traded it back in, and I think I only lost about £40 on it, but I was like, Jesus Christ, I should have really looked into what the game was as well.
You just bought it. Yeah. That's the thing with going in blind. Like, I've done that so many times. I can't get a game without going on YouTube and Googling it and just checking the general reviews. And even if the reviews aren't great, I still look into it more because a review is basically based on what someone's opinion is, and what someone thinks is crap, you might think is completely like great, basically.
Yeah, it's a great example. Like I reviewed, what was the game called? Was it called Rogan, the Thief in the Castle or something?
Rogan the Thief in the Castle. Yep, that's the one.
I played it and absolutely loved it. Like put the review out for the embargo lift and everything, and then I was like, what I like to do, because I always have my reviews to set for an embargo lifts, is when the embargo lifts, I like to jump around and see what other people are saying about it. Like, see if you're in the same mind frame, and like everyone was saying, like, don't buy this game, it's rubbish, and I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, that's the thing. That is the thing, because you have to be honest in reviews about how you feel about it, not like go on the bandwagon with everyone else, because then it's just like everybody else. But is that the game that's kind of like Thief? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Because I love the original Thief. I played that years ago. That was great. And then there's another one called Unnightly that they made that is very similar. Have you played that?
No.
A similar game, but I don't know about the development of it, because it was, when I last saw, everyone was going, where's the developer gone? But there's a couple of levels in there you can play. Check it out, mate, because it's similar to Thief.
Yeah, I'll have a look. Definitely.
What other games have you been playing recently?
Mech Warriors. World of Mech, sorry.
What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts on that?
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Like, I like the arcade feel to it. Like, is it Vox Machina, or whatever it is? Mechana Machine, or whatever it wants to be called. Obviously, that's got that side of it, but it's not as arcadey. Like, you've still got to manage stuff, and all you've got to manage on World of X is a heat gauge. And it just makes it a lot more open and free. Like, you feel a lot more freedom in it, because you're not worrying about, do I need to press this set button, or it's like the simulation part's not there, but they've put the obviously thing in to make sure that you're not just spamming your weapons or things like that. It's good on multiplayer, definitely. You feel like you can be losing, but then suddenly be on top when you start working together as a team. Sometimes you jump in and everyone just wants to run off and do their own stuff. But you get that in every shooter, never mind what you play. It's always some people who are like, I'm going on my own.
Yeah, I hate when people do that, especially in Population 1. That's the worst. Yeah. That is the worst. Because Mac in VR said a similar thing about it. He loved it, and exactly what you said is what I think the general consensus in the community is. And it is coming to PC as well at some point, isn't it? It's like on the roadmap.
Yeah. I think the devs messaged me and gave me a preview of it before it came, like, before it came out, and I played with the devs for like an hour on it. Could ask them a lot of questions, get some tips from them, but I sort of got ruined by it, because in a way, because it was that build, they unlocked everything for you, so you could. And when you're playing the real game, you've actually got to save up, and you can't have this badass mech with better stats and stuff. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the game. You need to have progression. If they just had anything unlocked, I think it'd die off quickly. Yeah,
it's like with After the Fall, when everyone was just cheating their way through it when it first came out, because it did have a lot of issues where people exploited. Yeah. And I played with one random, and he did it, and I was like, I said to my mate I was playing with, I don't want to play with him again. It's like, what's the point in spending 30 whatever quid in the game, just cheating your way through it, unlocking all the guns, and then what are you going to do? It's like, I think you're just mugging yourself off, to be honest, because you just spent that money and you're not even willing to work for it.
I think the problem with people like that as well, when they buy games like After the Fall and they do that, it's like, and then they've got everything and they go, well, this wasn't worth the money, I've got everything. But you've only got everything because you cheated your way through getting everything.
I don't understand people who cheat in games. No. It's just like a false glory. Like, you're just lying to yourself. It's really weird how some people think. I don't get it at all.
Yeah.
What else have you been playing? What game do you play the most in general? Like, what game is your go-to game where you think, right, I've got a couple of hours to kill, let's play this?
Ooh.
Neos doesn't count.
It's not. Got 3 hours to kill. Can I do anything in Neos? That's how it normally goes. Game-wise, ooh. I've got a few hours. I'll do like to jump into Walkabout Mini Golf.
Excellent choice. Yeah.
Just love that game. Like, it's another one I got. I only bought it because it was on sale, and I bought it on the Quest because it was on sale on, I think, one of the Christmases. I was like, I'll buy it. I'm bad at mini golf, but it's something different. And then I didn't play it for about 6 months, and I was just watching someone playing something else. Like, Like I've just got walk-up mini golf. It's outstanding. I was like, oh yeah, I've got that and didn't bother play it. And then jumped in with them one night, and then I was just like, as soon as the new map comes out, I'm like, get it.
Yeah, they've just released another one quite recently as well. It's really good, that game, because they keep updating it constantly.
Yeah.
And they've made like movie tie-ins and things like that. So Walkabout Mini Golf, I'd say, is an essential title when you get into VR.
Yeah,
Definitely. Because I was the same. I bought it and I was like, mini golf, how good can it be? But then when you put your headset on, it's just the world design. Like the world.
Everything, it's just mad.
The world design is it just sucks you in. And it's not really, it's not like got massive, like really good kind of all these graphical assets and stuff. It's pretty simplistic, right?
Yeah.
But just the way they do it, it's an amazing game. I do love that game. We should have a game.
So what else? The best thing they did is, as soon as they announced that Labyrinth map, it's like my favourite movie of the pack they're doing. It's like my favourite movie of all time. I was like, I can't believe I'm going to get to like go around parts of Labyrinth and play golf. I've even got like Labyrinth tattoos and all sorts. I was like, I can't believe this is like a dream come true for me. A game I love and a movie I love coming together.
So you said you got Labyrinth tattoos?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are they like? Just
well, I've got the worm that comes out the wall. Got that tattooed on my arm with Elo, like a speech bubble of Elo. I just love the movie's mad. It came out about a year after I was born, but it's like my favourite movie of all time. As soon as I watched it the first time, I was like, this movie was made with me in mind.
To be honest, I remember loving the movie. I don't remember any of it. It's been so long since I watched it. I'm going to have to put that onto my list of things to watch, I guess.
Definitely.
And what
I don't think outside of what mini golf. I jump into Synth Riders quite a bit. Best rhythm game out there for me. I got into Hyper Beat Saber when that came out.
Okay.
Obviously Synth Riders wasn't out then. I was Beat Saber crazy. Like it's one thing I'd definitely be jumping into if I only had a little amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as soon as I played Synth Riders, I was like, just so more enjoyable. It seems to be building quite a big following now, at least. Like you find a lot of the rhythm streams are either Beat Saber or Synth Riders. There's no like other one that seems to stick out.
What VR games are you looking forward to the most? Upcoming VR games that have been mentioned.
So, I'd say 4 come to mind. Veil VR. That just says coming soon.
I've played that.
I think it's meant to be this year.
Yep.
I know they're in like betas and stuff at the moment, so I expect it to be coming. Just like the idea of looking at the look of the shooter, just the simplified look to it. I think it's all a good shooter needs to me. It doesn't need to look anything in your face or...
Yeah. It's to be honest, it is pretty fun. It's obviously early days and they're still developing it and stuff, but the core game is actually quite fun, to be honest, yeah.
Hellsweeper VR.
Okay.
Made by the people who did Sorrento.
And what's that
It's
about?
more like... basically going into hell, fighting demons, using very much like the Sorrento thing, style of play. Which more take on demons and big demon bosses and...
Oh, yes, I've seen that. Yes, I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, I've played an early release like that, and it's just... I think there's a demo on Steam still.
Okay.
It's visually stunning. Like, blows your mind when you're in there. But I was expecting it because Sorrento's a good looking game, so they've obviously had more time and experience developing now and stuff, so that was good. There's Samurai Slaughterhouse.
Yes.
Just makes me think of Afro Samurai in that visual style of that, and Afro Samurai is fantastic.
I still got to play this Slaughterhouse game. I've got to do this
Yeah.
Patreon thing, isn't it? And then you can start playing. But yeah, I've still got to give that a go.
Yeah, I had to go with that early on in its development when he's basically I think the stuff on Patreon's like miles ahead now. It's just basically you were sort of in the dojo and you could walk around and slice people in half and stuff, and
Yeah, okay.
that was about all you could do. The final one is Apparently coming, I believe in summer. Ruins Magus, Magus, Ruins Magus. I don't know how you say it.
Yeah.
I've tried not to get hyped about this because there's one thing I've always wanted in VR is a proper like a Japanese RPG, like a not a massive role playing one, just a single player story driven action adventure RPG. There's people who've tried it. I backed one on Kickstarter, which was okay. Swords Reverie. I backed that on Kickstarter.
Yep.
Came out, got it. It's in early access now, but it seems like it needs a lot of work. But it's just what I want. I just want a game like a Final Fantasy type thing in VR, and it looks like, from what I've seen, this one looks like it's gonna do it. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But there's a demo coming next week at Steamfest for it, so I'll definitely be trying it out. Hoping that my hype has been worth it.
I'm not personally not really into JRPGs. I'll check it out. I think what put me off was the turn-based combat in Final Fantasy. But then I do remember playing a Final Fantasy years ago. It might have been on the PlayStation 1. And I quite enjoyed it, but I've never really gone back into it. So, is there anything near at the moment that's, apart from that game, that has even elements of that, like Zenith or anything like that?
With Zenith, I find Zenith's more like a open world RPG than like the Japanese one. Okay. Very artistic styles, very cartoony Japanese, but it's just, I thought I'd get into that because I was a massive Destiny player, and I was like, finally a game that looks like it's going to be the grind and the fun of Destiny. But then I think I got to about level 14 and I was just like, I'm getting bored of this.
To be honest, I have a lot of friends as well who bought it and they played it and stuff like that, and then it just kind of stopped or faded out, and I'm like, yeah, what happened to Zenith? Is it they're just like, oh, I haven't got around to playing it, so I don't know what their player base is like. I think it might have. I don't know actually. I was gonna say, because like the sponsored set streamers and stuff, didn't they, like, to become their streamers, and then I don't even think they do it anymore. See, that's the issue, right? Because this is exactly what I thought was going to happen, and that's why I didn't get it. It's because you bring out a game, and it's obviously you can do loads of stuff, but to me it just looked hyper repetitive. Bash these people up, but obviously people like you like that sort of game, but there didn't seem to be enough flesh in there. Like, it goes up to a certain level, and then with a big open world, you want to be able, there's so much stuff that should be there. I think that's what a lot of people have done. They've grinded it up to a point and they've kind of lost interest because it's nothing new has come in. There's been updates and stuff, hasn't there? But there's not been anything massive, has there, since it came out?
No, like the roadmap is quite big for bringing things out, but at the moment, I don't think there's been anything massive come out yet. Like, they need to do like what Destiny does, and what they started doing, and increasing the light levels like every so many months, so people have a reason to go back. Yeah. And like, oh yeah, I want to grind out some new gear so I can get that new light level. But it seems like they're planning like big updates down the line. Once it gets to this big update, your level cap be higher, and I'm like, you need to be doing it every 3-4 months. You need to be increasing that level cap to make people want to come back and grind it again.
Yeah, because if you're just doing the same thing over and over again, do you think they released it too early? Do you think they should have waited another 6 months to a year when they had that more content for the game?
I don't know, because I think people would have probably just ground out that content and then be like, "Work again, where's the new content?" And
I guess so, yeah.
It's the problem with those type of games. Like, people will grind them and be like, "Oh, where's the new content?"
Yeah.
But yeah.
You said after seeing me and Mac talk about RFVR, did you say you were going to download it?
Yeah, I downloaded it. Did the tutorial.
Yeah.
Before I came on here. Went into the world. Had my sword you could charge up that you get in the tutorial. Had that in my hand, ran, it hit a step and went, and then I lost it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're working on some bugs.
I think I might just let go of it with the grip when I hit the step, and then when I went back, I was like, oh, it's not there.
I'll tell you what, we'll jump in together because then I can show you more stuff and give you some loot crates and some good weapons and things like that. What class did you choose?
Mage. I'm always like a long class in those type of games.
Yeah, most of the people that I know everyone's chosen mage. I think most of them. I did have a rogue build as well, and it is great fun. I think what best thing to do in that game is to team up with other people. So we'll go in together. I think that's the best thing to do.
Yeah. So I did that. I actually died in it because I thought, I wonder if these people react to getting punched.
Yeah.
But then punch this level 5 NPC in the face in the village. Yeah, and he didn't like that. Just beat me to death. He's like a mallet or whatever it was he had.
Yeah, it's just like any other RPG, isn't it? Like when you start, you're pretty weak. But
yeah,
I've worked on like doing videos and stuff for the devs, and they gave me like spells that haven't come out yet and weapons that haven't come out yet. They also told me about what's coming up and things like that. So it's just going to be incredible, that game. They're still working on getting it out to early access, but the scope of it and that they really work hard on it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We'll arrange a time. So
yeah, definitely.
We'll jump in there. I'll see if we can get a couple of other bandits with us as well.
Yeah.
What's your favourite item in Neos? Because I've seen you've got so many items.
Well, to be fair, it's the most immature thing, but it's my favourite item. I'll just get it on my inventory when I can find it. There it is.
Crab button.
Yeah.
Crab.
It will eventually say cook. There we go.
Crab. Cocaine crab. Crab.
This is my favourite item. It's like the most childish thing, but I love it. Whoever made it is a genius.
Crab.
Which is one? I like that one. Oh my god, where's the other one? It's in the same. I've got it in the same folder somewhere.
Okay.
I mean, I like the duck hunt.
Yeah, everyone who comes into Neos for the first time, I show them Duck Hunt, and they love it. And then I get the Halo Needler out, and they.
Mm-hmm.
Have I seen that one?
It's just a.
What is it? Oh, that's a. What animal?
Hyena gun.
Hyena, yeah.
As you can tell, I'm just a childish person.
What does it do? Just make a fart noise?
Yeah, so if I shoot you, if you look in the camera, you've got one stuck in your chest, a hyena stuck in your chest.
Oh, yeah.
And it bursts into fart noise. Very childish. I like a button that says crab or cocaine and then a fart gun.
A fart gun. Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. Have you... Definitely those. And I like the dubstep gun, which is I won't get that because it's very noisy and very disruptive. But it's basically just a dubstep gun from Saints Row.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, I'll get the gun out, but I won't set it off because it's very let me just which is it? I think they just put it into its own folder now. It used to be inside someone else's folder. And I think they just made it its own folder. There it is.
There's so much stuff in there, it's just like...
So it's quite noisy anyway.
Yeah, I can hear that.
But it gets even noisier if you set it off. But what you can do with this one is the person's made loads of different discs, so you can actually put like anime songs in there and stuff instead.
Oh, that's wicked, mate.
So I can, I'll find it. Where's the anime one? There's like plenty of discs, so then you can load the anime one in and you can put it in the side. And it'll anime
my
skin
god,
it.
it changes the skin and everything.
Yeah, no, it's got It's got like 8 anime songs on there that you can like play.
Yeah, I'm
like,
not going to play.
No, it gets very very noisy quickly. That's a good thing if you just want to mess about things. I'd say they're definitely the items I go to when I'm showing people. Well, apart from Duck Hunt.
Yeah.
It's like, play Duck Hunt.
Neos, it's just incredible, mate. It really is. What headsets are you looking forward to? Because there are a few on the horizon. Which ones are you looking forward to the most? And what ones do you think you're going to get?
It may sound crazy, but PlayStation VR 2 is top of my list.
I just bought PS5.
Have you?
Yep.
I think it's going to do massive things for VR. If anyone's going to get AAA developers interested in taking VR seriously, it's Sony.
Yes, I interviewed Skiba, and he kept going on about the PSVR. That's going to be the biggest one. It was kind of on my radar. I sold all my consoles. I had all different consoles. I sold them all to build a gaming PC so that I could get VR and play Half-Life Alyx. And I said, never again. And after speaking to Skiba, I was on the lookout. And then, like a week ago, I got the PS5 because I saw it in Curry's. It was online. And I got it. And to be honest, do you have a PS5?
Yeah. I'd actually save money to buy new graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
One of the 30 series. Obviously, we've seen how that went with pre-orders. And I was just like, I'm never going to find one for ages. I mean, it's still a pain to get hold of now. So I was like, I'm never going to find one for ages. PlayStation 5's coming out. I like to have a console. I still played flat screen games on consoles. So I was like, I'll try and get a PS5, and then that suddenly went live without people knowing, and it was all sold out. I was like, oh. And then I actually went into town to like the little local shops to see if like the day after. I was like, I thought, I'm going into town. I'll ask in the local shops, do you have any like pre-orders available? And they were just, even like the little local shops, like, no, we've sold out. And I was just like, and then the last local shop I went into, they're very very useful in there. I went in and then they were like, no. I said, but Argos haven't put them pre-orders out yet. They go live at midnight tonight.
Ooh.
So I was like, the day after, I was like, oh, thanks. So then I messaged, well, I was on at midnight, sat there, pressed PlayStation 5, and it's still coming up like they weren't available to pre-order yet. It was still like just taking to a page saying coming soon.
Yeah.
Then I got on Twitter, message Argos support, like, you know, when PlayStation 5 pre-orders are coming up.
Yeah.
And the guy said, oh, at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, right, I'm staying up. I'll just be tired in work tomorrow. Stayed up till 2. Still coming up, like, unavailable. Like, still coming up, just coming soon.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh. And then I went on Twitter, and it, like, Argos was trending. And I was like, right, clicking on that. And, like, someone had said, the latest tweet was, like, they spoke to Argos, and they're going live at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like,
what?
So I was like, right, I'm going to bed. But I've set my alarm for like 4:30. I'll go and have a couple of hours sleep. Woke up at 4, sat there 5 and got one.
Oh,
like,
excellent.
I was like, whew.
That's dedication.
Yeah. And then, obviously, I started my PlayStation VR, so, and as soon as I put the orders up when they said you need the adapter, I ordered one of those. So that came before the console came.
Oh, nice. Can you see the difference between PS4 Pro or PS4 and the PlayStation 5 in the original, obviously, PlayStation VR headset? And is it all games that have been upgraded, or is it just some? Is it some? Just some games?
It's some games, yeah. Like they have to push out a PlayStation 5 patch.
What games do you know of?
Blood and Truth. That's one I tried. Like I did just a little live stream on the day, like trying PlayStation VR on the PS5.
Yeah.
Blood and Truth there's a lot less jaggy edges around the environment.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like I know the character models and what you're looking at is normally great anyway, but like even in just a scene where you sat talking and you turn around and look up at the stairs, all the rails and like the jaggy edges and stuff, didn't they? Like the resolution was bad on them. All of them are like smooth and stuff now. And I think No Man's Sky got one, but I haven't played that on PlayStation VR. There has been a few, but they're the only two I can think of at the moment.
I did buy 50 plus digital titles on my PS4 when I got the PS VR before I sold it, obviously. I didn't get to play a lot of them. Or I got to play them for 5 minutes and then kind of didn't get to finish them. So I'm looking forward to the PSVR 2 coming out, and then hopefully they'll sort out some kind of backwards compatibility with the controllers, because you've got the moves and then you've got the actual real controllers. They're going to have to do some work on that, aren't they, to make it transition over. I think... what games are you looking forward to on the PSVR 2? Because we did have the event recently. What kind of things are you looking forward to? Like, what one game would you say? I think I know what you're going to say, but what games do you think?
Not the ones that we know of. Horizon. Disassemble that world. Disassemble that world in VR.
Yeah.
Be mad. Of course, there's Resi Village, but I've been playing that with the Prey Dog mod, and he's done a fantastic job himself, so
yeah,
I think it'll obviously be better with the native, because it's like you're seeing a trailer, there's dual wielding and stuff, which will obviously be massive, but Prey Dog's done a good job with his mod as well. So I've sort of, when they said obviously that announcement came out, I was like, oh, I've just been playing it with Prey Dog's mod. I maybe wouldn't have if I knew that was definitely going to be a thing. Like,
yeah. I think Gamertags is the same thing as well.
Yeah.
That's the thing with PlayStation VR, obviously the second one. They haven't announced too much because it's still a bit further down the line. So nobody knows exactly what's going to be the first 20 odd games.
No.
But what they need to do is make sure they don't bring out remakes of games. I mean, it's going to be brilliant, don't get me wrong, Resident Evil in VR. But they need to have some first party titles that are just brand new, like say even like an Astrobot 2, kind of Blood and Truth 2, just games like that. I think that's what they need to have, because otherwise a lot of it you can do on PC VR, and I'll just be like, I'll be pissed off, because I'll be like, I just bought the console and the PSVR 2, and half the stuff I can get from CD Key website for $5 on the PC.
Yeah.
So they need some really good exclusives, first party. Horizon I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
I played the first Horizon for about 10 hours, and then I sold the console. But I've just bought the first one and the second one and all the DLC. I haven't put it on yet because I'm working through The Last of Us 1 and 2 first.
Yeah.
So after I've done Last of Us 1 and 2, I'm going to go into Horizon, because I remember that game was epic, just like from what I played.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful world, and it's so like crazy, the robotic dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah.
And then bringing that into VR, it's just going to be mental.
It's just one game I sat down with and was like, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not someone who like tries to get trophies or anything like that. And I was just like, I'm platinum in this game. Like, this game deserves the time. Like, how beautiful it looked, how it played. I was like, this deserves the time to get a platinum on it. And I did actually platinum the first one. Like, went through all the little daft things, like trying to beat so many of the big monsters in like 3 minutes and things like that. It was like a crazy thing. But
so how many?
Well, the big dinosaur things.
You must have put a lot of hours into that game, mate, because I did 10 odd hours. But I'm a freak, right? So what I do is 90% of the time, I will start a game for the first time, never played it before, and I'll just put it on the hardest difficulty. And it's a bit punishing at first, because you need to learn, obviously, the AI, how they move and how to do different things. So I put God of War on the PS5. Mate, that looks brilliant, man. I was like, I couldn't believe how good that looks. And I played an old God of War 15 years ago, and I just didn't like it, but this is totally different. Like a God of War VR. Like a campaign. I mean, how cool would that be?
That's the thing, they've got that many, PlayStation have that many good first party titles.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame for them not to try and do some VR with them. Like we're getting Horizon, Last of Us. But as a horror game would be fantastic. God of War. They're now own Insomniac Games.
Yes.
Who made Stormlands on Oculus, which was fantastic. Why not get them working on a Spider-Man IP? in VR because I've got VR experience.
Yes, yeah.
And made that Stormland was really underappreciated. I think like was fantastic, and obviously they're now on that studio, get them doing that. I'd love to see him bring old titles back, Killzone in the VR, or a Resistance Fall of Man in VR.
Yeah, that's a lot of people asking for games like that as well. Like even, can you imagine a 3D platformer like Astro Bot, but Ratchet and Clank? You know, something like that.
Yeah.
Because this is why I got the PlayStation 5, because I know, like you said, all of the kind of first party games they've got. But I wasn't really thinking about that. I was like, no, just don't want a console. Forget the PS5, maybe. And then speaking to Skiva, I was just like, do you know what? Then I just started looking, and then slowly I just pulled the trigger when I found one.
Yeah.
And I stopped playing flat screen games really when I got VR. The only ones I played was 7 Days to Die, because I play online with my cousin, and it's such a laugh, that game. And the VR one that they just brought a VR mod out for, Elden Ring. So I love that game. I've put 20-30 hours into that. I'm not going to play again until I get the VR mod, so I'm going to do that, carry that on as well. But now I've played that Ghost of Tsushima. Did you play that game?
I haven't played that one.
Oh, mate. It's like you're in The Last Samurai. I don't know if you like The Last Samurai movie, but it's just epic. It just looks like the best looking game I've ever played. And I don't know if you remember, maybe it's before your time, a game called Tenchu on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Where you run around on the roofs, and then you've got little ninja moves, and you've got special moves, and you do stealth kills. It's basically like that. And the level progression kind of thing, and all the items you can get and upgrade, and all the different. It's just a massive scope, the game. So I absolutely love that game, because I've always wanted a Tenchu kind of remake.
Yeah.
A game like that in VR would be amazing.
Yeah.
A game like that would be absolutely amazing. And so The Last of Us 1 I've done. I'm playing it for the third time now, just so it's been so long.
Yeah.
And then Last of Us 2, I'm going in blind. I can't wait for that. Because it was... Don't tell me any spoilers, but it was controversial, I think, what people said about it, right?
There's a lot of hate towards it. But again, it was one I bought, got it the day it came out, and then I wasn't seen online on my PC until I'd finished it. It was like, I'm sitting down and playing this, and then when I go online and I'm seeing it's getting all this hate for stuff it's done, I was like, but to me, that's what made it so stick to and play it. All the things everyone's saying is rubbish. I'm like, I don't think so.
Again, it's subjective, isn't it? It's whatever you're into.
Yeah.
So the reason that I mentioned The Last of Us is the VR side of that would just be. Can you imagine Resident Evil 7-ish kind of game, but with The Last of Us?
I haven't actually hide from the clickers, crouch down and hide behind walls when they're walking past, clicking and stuff would probably be freaky as anything. I mean, it's freaky enough when you're playing it in the game, so...
Yeah, it is.
Never mind being in there.
So, I mean, that's what I'm looking forward to. There's 2 headsets, right? I'm not interested in Oculus at all. I'm interested in the PSVR 2 and the new Valve headset, which is going to be who knows when.
Yeah, God knows when, yeah.
Because my best experience has been on the Index so far. I've had not as many as you, maybe 4 headsets.
Yeah.
And the foveated rendering and the tracking and on the PSVR 2. And people are kind of overlooking it. They just think it's just another headset. But it depends when it comes out, doesn't it? But it's going to be one of the first headsets that are kind of affordable, I'd say, that would have all that stuff on it. And
definitely.
Yeah, and the original PSVR did sell a lot of headsets as well, didn't it? So
I think the price point of it's always an interesting point, because you see people saying, oh, they have to compete with the Quest, or else it's not going to sell. And I'm like, have you seen the tech that's in that thing? Eye tracking doesn't come cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, everyone's like, well, they charge $350 for the first one, but then you have to go and pay £70 for the Move controllers. This has got the controllers with it.
Yeah.
It's got eye tracking, it's got facial haptics, it's got all this stuff. I'm guessing $500 for 449 in our money, in UK pounds, I think, is like the minimum half to me. Like,
Yeah. My guess is the same, about 450, 500, I'd say.
yeah,
And then on top of, I mean, they're not going to make a lot of profit, or they could even be selling that at a loss, to be honest.
yeah,
But it's once people plug it in and they're hooked into PlayStation, and people keep buying more and more VR titles, and especially the ones that are exclusive to PSVR too.
yeah.
It's a no-brainer to actually get a PSVR, a new one.
So I brought it up in PSVR Out Pro when they were talking about it after all these announcements, and
Yeah.
it seemed to get like a bit of an odd response from Brian on there. But I said, if they're not hybrid games like they want to do, and they're solely making VR games, they can't charge £70. Never mind how good it is.
Yeah.
I said, because unfortunately, I said, I mean, you paid what, $60 for Half-Life, but
Yeah.
if it's that level of a game, it's not bad. But they can't release stuff like Blood and Truth, that type of length and type of games and think, oh, because it's now on this, it's £70. Because I think it does sell more because they're probably going to have high development costs, but not the £70 they're charging for games, like the standard games now.
Yes, that's the that's the thing with consoles, is when it jumped from the last generation to this generation. Obviously, I didn't have a console, but I went to my brother's house. I was playing a game on the PS5. I was like, this is really cool. How much are games? Because like 70 quid. I was like,
Yeah.
what? I was like, 70 quid. Thank God for like CEX and places like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I only bought the digital version because I thought my main purchase was going to be VR, so I wasn't bothered about the disc version. And then obviously over time I've been like, games are coming out, I'm like, I'm going to have to pay. Well, I haven't bought a lot, I'm waiting for them to go on sale.
Yeah.
Like this weekend I got Yakuza.
Okay.
But Blood of the Dragon, or whatever it was, because I love the Yakuza games, and it was like, that was only 55 anyway, but I was like, I didn't even want to pay that, and it was 25 quid in the sale. I was like, I'll buy it now.
Oh yeah, days of play sale, isn't it? That's coming. Yeah. So do you not go to CEX and just like have a look down there?
I can't now because it's digital, so digital only, no disc drive.
Oh, you bought the digital version. I get what you're saying. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
in my head, I was like, I'm just going to buy VR games, and most of the VR games, well, I mean, Perp games are on it with releasing physical copies, but most of them are just 99% of my VR library for PlayStation's digital.
And was that a choice that you made, or was that was the only console that was available at the time?
No, it was a choice I made because I thought
nice.
I'm only going to be buying VR games really, and then obviously I was like started to see games like, I'm going to buy them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really tough because going to CEX is great, but the games that I bought for my PS5 they're physical, and I looked at them and I've played them, and I'm just like, I love these games so much, I don't want to trade them in.
Yeah.
So it's just, but then if it is a title that's like 70 quid and then it's going to be you complete it and there's no replayability, then I guess it comes in handy.
So I've got one of the rarest PlayStation VR games in physical.
Oh, what's that?
The Lost Bear.
I've heard of that,
Like that 2D side scroll where it looks like you're sat in the theatre playing the game on in a theatre.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Absolutely loved it. And I went to EGX one year when Odd Bug Studios were there, and they basically made 12 copies of the game in physical. Give 7 to the people who obviously worked on the game, and then because they're like Odd Bug Studios, a Manchester-based studio, there was other studios from Manchester there, and they just basically went and placed the games with those studios, with the other Manchester studios. So you have to like do research, and go to one of them and say, like, play the game, then ask them do they have the copy of the Lost Bear, and if they did, they give you it. And I managed to get one, so it's like one of 5 copies that are out in public.
Whoa! Have you seen that come up on eBay? Has anyone ever sold one, or is it like?
I've never looked. It's only like obviously because I got rid of that PlayStation 4 when I got my 5. It's the only physical VR game that's on my shelf because it's like the only one I can play.
That's definitely a collector's item because it's,
I was like, that's staying there.
because it's like the first ever PlayStation headset as well, and it's a limited edition. It's like when people go, Pawn Stars, the TV show, people bring in like the Mario, number one Mario game, and it's like 150 grand. I don't think it'll be that high, but I think it'll be worth something one day. So with your channel, do you want to just let people know where to find you, like different things like Twitter and things like that, and where's the best place to catch you?
But basically, there's my channel, just the VR Realm, youtube.com/VR Realm.
Okay.
Twitter, just the VR Realm on there. It's only up for. I mean, I've got a TikTok, but I don't put much on there.
Okay.
I just started to experiment with that like recently, just to have a mess on. After I spoke to Tribe about TikTok and stuff, and I was like, I'll have a try. Yeah. And then I do stuff, and I'm like, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've got a TikTok. I should really post something on there. So that doesn't happen very often. Instagram, I don't post on there very often.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at this social side apart from Twitter. Like I'm active on Twitter a lot. And then there's the vrrealm.com where I do written versions of all my reviews, and sometimes I do like early looks on there, which I can't do videos of because I don't want recording and stuff. That's why I only put the World of Mech stuff, because they didn't want any recording done when I previewed it, but let me write my first impressions of it. So, and it's basically got a link to all the episodes of the VRverse on there, the video version and the audio version on Anchor and Spotify. All the links are on there for them.
Okay, I'll link it all down below. Yeah. I think that's the best thing to do.
But they're the free places I'm mainly active.
Okay, all right, cool. And what's going on with your channel? Have you got much going on with regards to the actual studio? Are you still working on it? Is it always a constant work in progress, or is it like you're happy with how it is now?
I think I'm happy how it is now. Yeah. Like I said, I went from that little corner studio which I made to learn Neos, to learn about Neos and how to basically bring models in and build walls and that. I never actually ever recorded in that one. I made it and I was like, this will be great for recording the episode in, but then I came in, I was like, I could make something a bit better. Then I made one. So you'll see the first episode is like a weird setting. Like it is a studio still, but it's like just 3 couches. The second, I think the next episode is inside my studio, but in a different room, and again it's just the 3 sofas, like 3 separate chairs, with a coffee table in front with a few things on the coffee table.
Yeah.
And then it went from, and I was like, I need to, because I wanted to look like a proper TV set. I was like, right, that's it. I'm just gonna have to work on this until I get it right. And then got it how it is, and I'm like, I just want to make I'll probably end up making some slight adjustments somewhere, but it's nothing massive now. It's like happy with where it's at.
I've only seen your studio, to be honest, and Between Realities as well.
Yeah,
your studio looks brilliant, mate. I mean, especially what you can't see, because I saw your channel and I was like, oh, that looks cool, and it does. But then when you actually go in there, and I remember that's the first place you took me, and I saw your studio, I was like, this is brilliant. It's so different to compared to like seeing it on TV, isn't it? It just doesn't do it justice, like flat screen stuff.
Yeah, that's something we need. And we need a way to record and let people basically see what we see. It was one thing I've always said ever since I started making VR content. It's so hard to sell how good it is, because you're just seeing a wobbly flat screen basically. Like a flat screen game with a lot of wobble when heads are moving. Like that's all you see. Yeah. But once you're in there and you're sat in there or stood in the game, it's just like it's mad.
yeah. I mean, things like Live do definitely help.
Yeah.
But it's nothing like putting someone in the headset on someone.
No, not for the first time. They just blows the mind when you put them in first time.
And that was what I had with Neos, because my first experience in VR was like the Shark Tank. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, this is amazing. And I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And then when I came to Neos, bang, it's this exact same feeling.
Yeah. I put my friend in the shark tank for the first time. That had been in it. But I didn't actually... We had a drink as well. And I didn't actually tell her that the shark came because she's like... She's very easily scared. Like, she's scared of movies like Beauty and the Beast. So I was like... It's like all you do, you go down in the cage... underwater and like jellyfish come past and you see fish swim past and stuff. I didn't mention anything about the shark, and she had like her feet up on my gaming chair screaming when it was like coming towards her, ripping the front off the cage. Her feet went up on the chair, she was screaming, and I thought this is I thought I wish I had this recording. Like
see that it's very twisted, but to be honest, I did the same to a lot of people with the same game. It has to be done. It's crazy. I mean, if anyone wants to come into Neos, just let us know. I mean, obviously, Paul knows a lot more than me, but I'm happy to show people around what I know of Neos. It's absolutely amazing.
Yep.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day?
I don't think so. I think we've covered quite a bit.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else that like springs to my mind.
Okay. Anything about your channel or anything like that, or?
No. I just post. I don't have a schedule. I post when I post, so it's a bit hard to like say check in this day so we new content. Cause sometimes I can go weeks without putting anything on there, and then suddenly there's like the next week it's like a boom of loads of stuff coming up.
Yeah, the only issue with that is the YouTube thing, isn't it? It's like YouTube likes you to do at least once a week, doesn't it, or once a like in the thing. So, and it's not always doable when you got busy doing work and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll sort out RFVR. Definitely, we'll give that a go.
Definitely.
Okay, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. I am going to post all of his links down below so you can have a look. If you enjoyed the podcast, consider subscribing because there'll be more episodes coming up. I've got a few that are already in the bag, so every week I'll be releasing them. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Your dick is now a noodle!
Oh, what have you done?
Because the one so big, it just made the noodle bigger. Let's test that theory.
Skedaddle! Your dick is now a noodle!
I can't even. You can only just see it because the big one's in the way.
Whoa! What's happened to you? Yes! This is crazy, man. How'd you do the fire again? Is it B?
The grip pad on the right. But just grip your right hand.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
I'm going to do that. I'm creepily trying to hunk.
Oh.